loss after the beginning of the new year, we're able to take that and forecast a stronger market. So if we can establish ourselves now in the industry and build a profitable campaign, chances are our profits will increase, or we'll have more opportunity to expand our profits later on. So that basically wraps up the main three topics I wanted to discuss today. It covers everything. We talked a little bit about the affiliate networks, didn't go into the details of the networks, but just some things you want to look out for the networks when you're signing up with them. Competition research, I showed you how to locate them, and you can actually use just about any article marketing database. If we go straight to Google, you can just type in article directory. There's lots of different article directories here, so you can just choose one. I know another big one's eZine articles. If it's here, I'm not sure if it's here at the moment. Right here, we type it in. You can go here, and it works the same way as associated content. You can type in Achaeaberry. If you look, that domain there we've been seeing everywhere. Lots of these different ads here for Achaeaberry, so we know that it's working on the content market. Very good. And this technique is actually not an unknown technique of researching competitors. A lot of people do it this way, and there's even other things you can do, but this is the basic general idea to get an idea if there's competition, and if so, where are they promoting, both on the content and on the search. Now you say, well, it looks like there's a ton of different people out there promoting that product. It's going to be really competitive to get into. A lot of times, the most competitive markets are also the most lucrative, and so you're able to find more gaps in areas that other affiliates may have overlooked, because it's such a big market. There's no way they can be covered so easily as a smaller market. So it's a great market to break into, in my opinion, and we're going to test it out and see where we go from there. Now, a couple things I did want to mention about the associated content. Let me get back on that site really quickly for us. If you're just starting out as a new affiliate and you don't have any funds or very little funds to produce a pay-per-click campaign or to market your pay-per-click campaign, now one really cool thing about associated content is you can actually make money. They'll pay you for writing articles. So I believe I forget which one, but I read one comment that a guy said he's great at writing articles, or loves to write articles. Well, if his budget's low and he's not very good at doing the design of the landing page, write some articles, get some money from that, and go hire a landing page designer. Very easy. And when we get to the landing page step, I'll actually show you some ways you can get your landing page designed, some different places, also some different methods. And it's really not that difficult at all once you learn some basic HTML, if you wanted to design one on your own. But this is a great place to earn money. I mean, I believe if you write decent quality articles, they have some guidelines to go by, but just decent quality articles, they pay anywhere from about $4 to $7 per article. So, 100 articles, you have between $400 and $700, excuse me, of marketing money to work with, and that's not a whole lot of articles. You should be able to do it pretty quickly. Before I close the part 1 session for today, I wanted to kind of review some of the comments that were made on some of the other posts that we made just before this case study is launched. Narc, he asked that I would, start giving, or if I would give some tips, as far as I'd wish I'd known when starting out, and mistakes I made while I was learning, stuff like that. One of the main things that I wish I would have known when starting out was tracking. If I had known how to properly track my profitable keywords, I'd be so much further ahead now, and I'd be so much further ahead then. I probably would have turned that $1,000 into 4 days into $1,000 a day in just a matter of a week or so. That's how much it would probably benefit me at the time. No joke. And I will try to give more tips like that and some other things as we go along. We will be going through a process where I'll show you how to set up some tracking to properly track your pay-per-click campaigns, which is a very vital thing. Is probably one of the most vital things in making a profitable campaign is tracking. A-Mags here, he said, what I would like to learn from the case study is how to bridge the gap from nothing to something. How can I start with $100 and start working on making $10,000 per month? I think most people don't even know where to begin. That's very true. A lot of people don't know where to begin. And a lot of people also think that you can take $100 and magically turn it into $1,000 or $10,000. That's very contrary to anything. In this case study that we're doing, we're going to be taking $100, and that's specifically dedicated to marketing expenses alone. So that does not cover any costs for domains, it does not cover any costs for hosting accounts that you might have, and it doesn't cover any keyword research tool costs or anything like that. It's just $100 specifically in marketing expenses. So we're going to take that, and $100 is the minimum I would recommend you trying to test a niche out with. What we do with this $100, we're basically going to set this campaign up to where we're able to get some data, maybe generate some sales. If we're able to break even, great. If we make a profit, fantastic. If we get only a couple sales and we don't quite break even, we're losing money. Well, I'll show you how to determine whether or not there's potential to make that campaign profitable or not. It usually takes more than $100 to get a really good feel for a campaign to see if it's going to work for you or not. But $100, you're able to do it a lot of times, depending upon how much you're paying per click. PPC and keyword research, we will be covering keyword research in the next, I think it was case study part 2. My favorite affiliate networks, I don't know if I actually have a specific favorite. I like CX Digital. Market Leverage, Hydra, and Convert to Media are excellent. So, how to handle taxes and forming a corporation. That's something I wasn't really planning on covering. I might hit on that maybe at the very end of the series. I might make something up and talk a little bit about that, especially if you're a sole proprietor. It can be kind of tricky, and there's ways to save your money or to reserve more of your money without having to pay so much taxes on it. I don't even know how to pronounce this next name, Cyber K, the Bizbomb, something like that. I would like to know what is the most sensible, if not minimum, amount you can start it on PPC. Is $200 enough to target an income of $100 a day? And what affordable web host you can recommend for newbies? And what's holding me back aside from limited cash, of course, is the fear of losing stuff. Hope you give some tips on these, Andrew. Thanks. Okay, so basically, is $200 enough to target an income of $100 a day? Yes and no. $200 is enough to target an income of $100 a day. However, the chances of that happening are very low. So you usually do need more than $200. My very, very first campaign I launched was back in October of 2007, and I launched it the very first day. Within like the first hour, I had spent about $30–40 roughly, right around there, and I had made about $200 profit. So I generated $230 to $40 of revenue off of just $30. So that's very good. But basically, what you want to keep in mind, and what your target will always be, or should always be, is to double your return on your investment. So if you spend $100 a day, you want to be making $200 a day back. That way you're profiting $100 a day. So you have 100% ROI. That should be your goal. Some people have a little bit lesser goal, but that's my target, is $100 return on my investment. And what affordable web host you can recommend for newbies, I'll get to that a little bit later when we talk about landing pages. I'll mention that for you there. And as far as the fear of losing stuff, you just got to get over that fear. You got to completely forget that fear. You have to make knowledgeable and logical decisions, but you can't be held back by fear. If you're held back by fear, you won't be successful in any business that you get into, whether it be a traditional business or internet-based business. Each one has risk factors, and each one has a fear that you have to overcome. So that's something you have to personally develop and just be able to work with. Well, I hope that helps you for today. We'll probably have the next part up later this week. We'll talk about keyword research now that we have the offer selection, and we'll get a little more in depth and stuff like that. So if you'd like, please go ahead and sign up to the Cash Tactics forum, which is at cashtactics.net/forum. You can also locate it at the button at the very top of the screen on the menu bar labeled Discussion Forum. Inside of there, you'll see the case study section where you're able to post questions about part 1, which is today's session. And we appreciate any and all feedback. I know this is kind of choppy. It's my very first case study, and keep in mind I'm talking to myself and my computer, so I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Anyways, we appreciate you coming out and reading the blog. Keep it up, and again, sign up for the RSS feed if you haven't signed up for it just yet. There's some really good stuff coming out to just those who have signed up for our RSS feed. So Chris will talk about that a little bit later. Well, have a good day, guys.